The crowd answered, "You have a demon. Who seeks to kill you?" So Yeshua gave his beautiful 6-point opening salvo. The crowd's response, their counter salvo is, 1, you stink and you have cooties. Okay, you have a demon. Okay, you're nuts. You're a nutcase. Plus, number 2, you're paranoid. Right? Who seeks to kill? Talking about people wanting to kill you. Who seeks to kill you? You paranoid nut. Yeshua answered them, "You know, I did one deed, one miracle, and you all marvel." This is the miracle last time he was in Jerusalem. He healed the man on the Shabbat, right? At the pool. You remember the story? Jesus saw him lying there, John 5. And he knew he'd already been a long time in that condition. He said to them, "Do you wish to get well?" Jesus said to him, "Get up, pick up your pallet and walk." Immediately the man became well and picked up his pallet and began to walk. Now it was Sabbath on that day. Dun, dun, dun. And for this reason, the Jews were persecuting Jesus because he was doing these things on Shabbat. So that was just to bring you back to chapter 5, what he's talking about. For this reason, Moses has given you circumcision. Not because it's from Moses. By the way, it doesn't come from Torah. It's in Torah, but it doesn't come from Torah. The origin of circumcision is not in Torah. It comes from the father. It comes from Abraham. And on the Sabbath, you circumcise a man. You break the Sabbath. You violate the Sabbath. Remember Genesis 17, this is my covenant God makes with Abraham, which you shall keep between me and you and your descendants after you. Every male among you may be circumcised, and it shall be the sign of the covenant between me and you. This is long before Moses and takes precedent, is what he's saying. So I know you elevate Moses as if Moses is the source of everything, but he's not the source of everything. Even something so basic as circumcision actually comes from the time of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Now, if a man receives circumcision on Shabbat, so that the law of Moses will not be broken, in other words, if that's okie dokie, are you angry with me because I made an entire man well on the Sabbath? Now, if we look at Jewish law, we look at the Mishnah and the Shabbat tractate, the Shabbat section. All things required for circumcision do they perform on Shabbat, because the Jewish people perform circumcision on Shabbat. It's not a violation of Shabbat. Again, Rabbi Yossi says this is Mishnah Nedarim. Great is circumcision. Circumcision rocks, in other words. How come? Since it overrides the prohibitions of Shabbat, which is subject to strict rules. And how? And the rabbis made them much stricter than God ever did. But nonetheless, that's neither here nor there. The conversation continues. Rabbi Yeshua ben Korah says, great is circumcision. Circumcision rocks. For it was not suspended even for a moment for the sake of Moses, the righteous. And finally, in the Talmud, Yoma, section on the Day of Atonement, 85b, Rabbi Eliezer responded and said, if circumcision, which concerns only one of the 248 limbs of the body, right? 248 areas, okay, circumcision affects one of them, you know which part. If that overrides the restrictions of Shabbat, all the more so the whole of the body's salvation to heal should override the restrictions of the Shabbat. If somebody heals just one of the 248, that overrides. How about if we heal the whole man, all 248? That's even better. That should also override Shabbat. To heal on Shabbat is okay by the rabbis,